Seahawks fans, make sure to join us on Monday night for our Seahawks-Eagles watch party live right here on Seahawks Today. And as we catch you down to kickoff, I want to see if we can get to 45.5 thousand subscribers on the channel before then. We're about 125 away from that next milestone. So sub for Seahawks Dubs and make sure to join us coming up on Monday evening. Our coverage begins 4:15 Pacific time, about an hour-long pregame show. Myself, Smitty's going to be along here with me as well. We'll have a few drinks on hand. Party, you will not want to miss out. Let's get a Seahawks dub must-win game on Monday night. We'll see you then. Subscribe now. We'll get started with today's show. Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. And we bring you news and rumors every day on this channel, but it's not a rumor when it's straight from Mike Holmgren's mouth, as the Seahawks' legendary head coach spoke out within the last couple of days about Seahawks safety Jamal Adams. In a recent interview with a local radio station in Seattle, Holmgren was asked about Jamal Adams and his future with the Seattle Seahawks, and Holmgren was pretty blunt, suggesting that the Seahawks after this season need to cut ties with Jamal Adams and move on. Here's more from Mike Holmgren. I've been in position where I've had to release good players that were hurting the team, and sometimes you just have to eat the money. Now, how much money are we talking about here? A lot of money. $20 million in dead cap over the next 2 seasons is what it would cost the Seahawks to ultimately move on from Jamal Adams. You would be paying $20 million over that stretch for him to not play on your football team. Now, I know some of you are going to ask, what about trading Jamal Adams? Surely somebody would take him, right? Wrong. Nobody in their right minds would take on Jamal Adams with the contract that he has, which is the worst contract in the NFL, and then the play we're seeing on the field. He is a liability. Why on earth would anyone want Jamal Adams on their football team with the piss-poor effort that we're seeing and with the money that he demands? It just doesn't make any sense at all. You look at this Seahawks depth chart, there's going to be some big questions next year when it comes to this secondary. Quandre Diggs, he hasn't had the year that he would have liked. Jamal Adams, his future appears to be finished in Seattle. Where does this team necessarily go from here? I think that you're looking at the Seahawks completely revamping this secondary and going a whole different direction here. Holmgren was asked about Pete Carroll and John Schneider and what they should do about this, and he said the following: I trust them. They both have each other's back. It's not an easy decision. So pretty simple from Mike Holmgren there. Made his case known that Jamal Adams should be gone in Seattle. More to come, and we'll tell you about this situation with Jamal Adams, get into some details, show you some numbers in just a second. But first, our pin comment today. Want you guys to weigh in. Should the Seahawks straight up cut Jamal Adams, count their losses, and move on? If you think they should, type Y for yes. If not, in for no. Weigh in on our pin comment and let us know what you think. More to come here on Seahawks Today, but first, let's tell you about our sponsor. That is Factor. Look, this bustling holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, flavorful meals to fuel you on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, stay on track with your healthy lifestyle, and tackling all your holiday to-dos. Cross meal prepping off your list this holiday season with Factor. Skip the meal planning, grocery shopping, chopping, prepping, and cleaning up, and get Factor's fresh, never frozen meals delivered straight to your door. They're ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy. Treat yourself to high-quality, delicious meals over the holidays. Factor isn't just for dinner. Count on extra convenience any time of day with an assortment of 55-plus add-ons to suit various preferences and tastes. Choose from quick breakfast items, lunch to go, grab-and-go snacks, and ready-to-drink cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. Head to factormeals.com/SeahawksChat50 and use code SeahawksChat50. Get 50% off. That's code SeahawksChat50 and factormeals.com/SeahawksChat50 to get 50% off. Factor meals. I love them. You'll love them too. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Now, when I look at Jamal, the injuries that he suffered over the years, I think has really just finally caught up to him. His body has not held up with all that he's been through. I think that's a huge part of the reason why he's become an ineffective player. You think about it, over this stretch, the last 3 seasons, he has missed a grand total of 25 games. That is a lot over that stretch. And this was a short honeymoon phase of sorts. Remember, he was just traded to the Seahawks back in 2020 off of 3 straight Pro Bowl appearances there in New York. Things went downhill pretty quickly. And if you don't believe me as far as his lack thereof in performance, here's what the numbers show. The numbers show that Jamal Adams is a one-dimensional player right now. Awful in coverage with a grade of 50.7, a run defense grade of 52.8, an overall grade around 55. Pass rush grade's pretty good, 85.5. But that's it. That's all Jamal Adams can do. He cannot cover a nosebleed. I've been thinking all week about that play where he got blown up by Deebo Samuel in coverage. And when the Niners were intentionally trying to throw the football Jamal Adams' direction. The statistics say the same thing, that Jamal Adams is doing nothing, that there's nothing that he has to offer for this Seahawks team right now. And here's the sad reality for Seahawks fans when you think about Jamal Adams and how he'll be remembered. He is going to go down in the same vein as Clay Bennett, the former owner of the Seattle Supersonics, current owner of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who we all know what happened there. That trade to bring in Jamal and the results that happened of said trade will forever go down as the worst trade in Seattle Seahawks history. That's how bad it was. And if you need a recap of everything that went down with that trade, the Seahawks got Jamal Adams. They got Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant hasn't been healthy much of this year. And then what they gave up? Well, Bradley McDougald ended up getting cut. So that's not the end of the world. But a decent offensive lineman. And then, oh yeah, who's that last name? Garrett Wilson, who's one of the best young receivers in football right now and arguably the best player on that New York Jets team. I would love to have Garrett Wilson in Seattle right now. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So not only did the Seahawks totally blow it with that trade, Jamal hasn't been healthy, and when he has been out there, he hasn't played well at all and been a liability. You missed out on a generational type talent in Garrett Wilson. He could be on your roster right now had you not made that trade. Man, what a sad story here, folks. What are you going to remember about Jamal Adams' tenure in Seattle? Oh, it was not good. This feels like the end of the road over these next few weeks. What comes to mind for you of everything that this team endured, this Jamal Adams era? Weigh in that comment section. Let me know what you think. Folks, subscribe to Seahawks Today for daily Seattle Seahawks coverage. We're going to be live coming up on Monday night for our Seahawks watch party when they take out the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see you then. Subscribe now, and we'll see you next time.